Hey y'all, happy Wednesday to you. Welcome to the industry. I'm your girl, Meelah. We're on every Wednesday from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the Evening Rush Network. You can give us a call at 929-228-0266. And you can also hit us up on our Cash App. You can see it down on the bottom of the screen, $ at the Evening Rush. How you guys doing today? I'm doing cool, a little nervous, but I'm happy to be here. We got some guests coming up for you today, so we hope that you're excited, as I am. I had a great and exciting weekend. It was my birthday weekend. I partied like crazy, y'all, and I had to kind of recuperate so I can get ready for this interview today. So I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about my party. I had a Michael Jordan party. You had to come with a pair of J's on. For the most part, everyone came and they did wear their J's. I had a few people that didn't, but all in all, the party was fun. All of my friends, they came out, they supported me. Your girl got to perform for her people. I felt like I was in a big old concert hall. It felt so good. So that was my weekend. I rested on Sunday pretty much. And that's it. So now we're going to bring in our first special guest. Her name is Carla Allen. She's a new up and coming artist to the label. Y'all give her a hand as she comes in. Waiting on Carla to come in. As she's coming in, I was trying to say that she's a new artist to the Titan and Barron label. She's an R&B singer, I believe. We'll find out more when she hops on. But here she is now. Hey, Carla, how you doing?
Hey, hey, people. I'm sorry, having technical difficulties. How are you doing tonight, Queen? How you doing?
Oh man, I am good. I'm good. I'm good. How you doing today? How was your day?
It was good. I had a pretty good, amazing day. So just thankful to be here and excited about the interview.
Okay, okay. Tell us what you did this weekend leading up into this week. I was telling the people a little bit about my birthday. I had a party this weekend and I
Mhm.
got to perform, so it was kind of cool. So tell me what you did this weekend.
Cool beans. Well, happy belated birthday to
Oh,
you.
thank you.
You are welcome. So I had actually had a pop-up shop. I'm into skincare, so I partner with
Okay,
a Jamaican couple, and the name of their product line is Organic Tony and Organics.
okay.
So I had an amazing pop up event. Just met different people, got a chance to network and tell them about the products. And Sunday was, regular Sunday. Did worked on my other business that I do, which is in health and wellness, and planned my week out and did cleaning and other things, around the house and prepared myself for the week. So that was my weekend. Pretty busy and simple.
Okay, okay. Sounds like what a regular woman does during the
Mhm,
weekend. Get your little fun in for a second, handle a little
mhm.
business, and then back to work. Huh?
Back to regular schedule, back to
Oh,
making the donuts.
man, I feel you. That 9 to 5, and then trying to be a new artist. Tell me a little bit about that. How was that? I know how it is, but I want you to tell me how it is trying to shuffle, going to work, and trying to become an artist out here and writing and doing singing and doing your thing.
So for me, all I can say is, at first I really just tried to find that balance But for me, I just find it easier just to know when to go and know when to stop. So, I have a lot going on with work and up and coming artist. I'm definitely gonna be having some things, on the books for myself, a pretty full schedule. So it's for me, it's all about just being able to know, like I said, know when to go and know when to stop. Take that time out. Okay, well, I know I need to relax and just take time out for me, before I dive back into, artists or whether it be my 9 to 5. Just knowing when to take time out for myself and to give myself, that time before I hit the go button again is how I'm looking to be able to balance it all.
Okay, okay. I feel you. I
Mhm.
haven't learned that just quite yet. But I'm gonna
It's
try
a
to
work
take
in progress, girl.
look,
I don't got it all together, but
I'm gonna
it's a
take
work
some
in progress.
notes. I'm gonna have to call you. I got your number. I'm be like, girl,
You
you
got
gotta tell me how
look.
to slow down a little bit. Give
I'm
me
here. I'm here. I'm
the only
here.
me time I get is when I go get my nails and my feet and my eyelashes and stuff. Then other than
Mhm.
that, I'm moving, moving, moving.
I feel you.
So tell me how was it meeting Mr. Terrence Russ and how that came about and how you got signed and everything and how it feels just to be even signed to a label right now.
Absolutely. Well, I met Mr. Rush through a business partner of mine, and she introduced me to Mr. Russ. And I mean, ever since I met him, I just been, just grateful that I have such a phenomenal leader in my life. That's not only knowledgeable about the music, but the business aspect of
Hmm.
it too. So it was definitely an experience, and I'm grateful. So I met him through, like I said, a business partner, and ever since we met, it's just been business, just really looking forward to making things happen. And I'm really um, open to a lot of things that he is experienced, that he has experience in. So I'm just super grateful to be able to have a leader, in my life who knows the business and who can propel, my music forward and make great things happen. So I'm excited.
Yes, yes, yes. As I'm being your label mate, I say that we're both in the same boat. Mr.
Hmm.
Russ. Mr. Russ is absolutely a cool businessman. He keeps me on my feet, so I'm pretty sure he does the same for you. He gives me inspiring messages all the time,
Hmm.
telling me to keep pushing. Don't get down on it yourself. This is what you wanted. So, I love that about him. I love the opportunity. So I love that you said that as well because I feel the same. So I echo your sentiments. So tell me this: who was your favorite artist or a group when you was growing up, and who is your favorite artist and group now?
Well, I'm a 90s girl. I love the good old 90s music.
For
So,
sure, for sure.
group wise, I would definitely have to say Escape. That is my group. I
Okay,
love me
okay,
some Escape.
okay.
Um, and my favorite artist even then and now is Whitney Houston. She is so amazing. She was such an amazing woman, and I just admire her strength and her courage and her
For
fight.
sure.
So yeah, she's definitely it then, and she's still it now for me.
For
So
sure, there will never, ever, ever be another Whitney Houston. So
ever,
R.I.P. to the Queen, Queen.
ever. I mean, she
Um,
just sings so effortlessly. It's just amazing. Like
look,
no work to it. She just do it. So that's what
listen,
really inspires me.
I knew she was it when she did the national anthem.
Oh,
Like,
come on
I
now.
know they have had stars to come along and do it good, but
Yeah.
no one will ever sing that better than her. I mean, she
And
killed it. And that
killed
was, man,
so effortlessly.
yes, yes, yes. So tell us, do you have any children? Do they sing? Um, you know, do they inspire to sing or are they singing now? Let us know what you got going on the home front over there.
Absolutely. Well, I have two amazing children. I have a daughter, she's 22, and I have a son who is 5. And my 22-year-old, she doesn't sing as much. She's shy. She reminds me a lot of me. Growing up, I was really shy.
Okay.
So she just, I'm just waiting for her to break up out that shell. But she sings, she like to sing in the shower. That's her thing, or in her room, but she can hit a little note or two. My son, he's really not into music like that yet, but we do listen to music. I got him listening to a lot of my gospel songs, like on a ride to school when I
You're
take him
gonna
to
be a
school.
preacher.
Look, come on now. So he but when I have my music on, and we get in our mode, he is rocking with mommy all the way. So, and even when I sing to him, like he just have this look on his face like, oh my God, you're just amazing. And it just do something to the inside of me because I see it on his face when I sing to him and stuff. So absolutely, he's definitely gonna be a music lover because yeah, we be
That's what's
jamming.
up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
My kids, I got. They're gonna be mad at me for saying this, but my oldest, she can really, really, really kill it. My
Uh-huh.
middle child, she can sing now, but she's not as good as the first one. And then my
Hmm.
son, he's oh my god, I didn't know the boy could sing like that till he was in the shower one day, and he's a crazy Prince fan. So I
Yeah.
heard him singing, I was like, this boy can sing, but you know, you always got one that's a iffy, but
Hmm.
she can sing. She just not as strong as the other two, but she can sing. So she gonna be mad at me for saying that. But it's beautiful to have kids that can sing and that can kind of follow your footsteps if they do.
Absolutely.
So tell me, have you written any songs since you've been on your musical journey, or do you just sing with others? Right? I mean, tell me how. What's your thing?
So it's been a while since I've been in the studio, let alone write a song, but I have written two songs
Okay.
in the past, and I really enjoyed it. And for me, it's just being able just to be in my space. I'm not. Um, I just write from the heart, because
Mm-hmm.
everything comes from within. So I
For
just get in my
sure.
space and, I'm listening to the beat and I just write. And of course I do have, writer's block and don't know what to write or
Ooh,
even
I
know
was
what
just
to
gonna
say.
ask you.
So that at that moment, that's when I just step away. I
Yeah,
step away because I don't want to overthink it,
think it. Yeah.
because it's not a process where you should overthink. It should just
Mm-hmm.
come,
Yeah.
so when I get that way, I just know I just need to step back, get back to it, and then, I'll get back into my elements. So yeah, I definitely have written songs and looking forward to being able to get back in that space again and get the feel so I can
Mm-hmm.
write again. So yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. Do you ever be laying down in the middle of the night and have to hear a song in your head or hear some words, and you be like, "Oh my
Mhm.
God, I gotta get this down because if I don't, it's gonna go out the window." I have
I
a lot of
do.
those moments, but then what I
Hmm.
find is that, like I tell people, it's like on the five heartbeats when they were in the room and they was getting that song together. I find that
Hmm.
I have different words over here, different words over here, and then I'm trying to match them up because I done had so many thoughts go through my head.
Hmm.
Now I'm trying to make one whole song out of it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and you hold
Hmm.
on to those little songs. Do you ever have those moments where you got to just get up and write it down and for you forget it?
Girl, yes, and I don't even write it down. I just pull out my phone and record. Like I just sing,
That's me.
just record so I remember how I want it to
Yep.
sound. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So it's like a
That's me.
sound thing that I want to make sure I remember how it sound, how I want it to go. So yes, I have had those moments and I just pull out my phone and just record. And it could be something real, just, short, but
Hmm.
it's something that I wanted to remember and make sure that when I get back to it, I can go ahead and reference it and pick it back up and put some magic to it. So yeah.
I totally understand that. It's one of my things that recorder on that phone. I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. I love it. I have like a whole list of stuff that I need to go listen to and be like, okay, okay. But I haven't gotten to it just yet. I wanted to ask you, if you could see yourself performing anywhere in the world, like if you just could pick anywhere in the world to perform, where would that be? And what would that moment? What would you, what to you? What would that moment feel like to you if you got to do that?
Oh
I know.
man, it would be. The first thing that came to mind was Italy.
Somewhere.
Yes, that is such a beautiful place to be, and it's nationwide for one. Because I
Hmm.
definitely known all over the world. So just to be able to sing to people and inspire people, in Italy in such an amazing place would definitely put me. I would just feel just so amazing and just on top of the world, because
Hmm.
it's a really really beautiful place, and just to know that you have people outside of America that really
Yeah.
dig your style and dig your
Hmm.
music, like that's dope. So yeah, for sure it'll be Italy.
Well, listen, we reaching for the stars. We're not gonna stop until we get there. So, hopefully, girl, if you get to Italy, I'm going with you. We gonna
Yes,
take.
girl, be on a boat somewhere. Have my violin, have my violinist playing the violin. Sitting on the boat.
Now you might be on the boat by yourself, girl. I don't really do that water.
Girl,
Nah.
come on, you could get on the boat. Just take a little ride around the lake.
Well, if we get to Italy, I might give it a little swirl around the world. I might hook it up for the one time with you. So I wanted to ask you too, because I meant to ask you this when we first started talking. How
Mhm.
old were you when you fell in love with music, or when you just knew that singing was what you wanted to do? How old were you?
I would say about six for me. I would say yeah, six. At six, I knew that I had something. I was really shy when I was young, but I knew I had a gift. So six, yeah.
That's a good age because you kind of really know. Did you
Hmm.
sing it? Did you sing in church or anywhere? Well, I know you had to sing in church because you got your son listening to the gospel music or turn him into a little Kurt Franklin or something. Um, so, did you start off singing in church, or was it just listening to the greats like Whitney and so on that made you be like, yes, this is what I'm trying to do? And did somebody tell you you could sing, or did you just know you could sing?
No, I really knew I could sing. I really growing up, I really didn't have that inspiration or someone that can tell me the things that I knew for myself. So I think that's just part of the reason why I was shy too. So I just knew it for myself that I was born with the gift and I can sing. I didn't grow up in church singing. I did attend gospel choir when I got to high school, but
Okay.
growing up as a little girl, no, I didn't. Wasn't on a choir and singing all that and doing all singing from the church. But I just normally just sung around the house or something just to really escape for what I was really dealing with.
Okay.
When I
Yeah.
was little. So that was my piece. So
Yeah.
that's how I knew I had it. Yeah,
Girl, we might have to hang out. It seems like we got a lot in common. I
definitely.
did grow up in church, and they used to always pull me up to sing. We had this choir called the Angel Choir, and they used to put us in
Mhm,
these little ugly burgundy robes with these little bow ties on. Hated it, but I always had to lead the songs. I think me and
mhm.
my cousins, I didn't know if they was playing favorites at the time and just letting us sing all the songs because our grandpa was the pastor, or
Yeah.
if we could really sing at the time. But after a while, I kind of knew I could sing as well. Probably around the age of 6. I started around the age of 3 singing in the choir, but around 6, when they kept
Mhm.
on putting me out there, that's when I kind of knew then, and it was my outlet too. I used to
Yeah,
just sing around, make them have choirs on the front porch. Though we was gonna sing, so I feel you on that. So singing is always a good outlet, especially when you're stressed or when I find it a cleaning tool when I'm around the house cleaning. I put that
absolutely.
girl
Yeah.
make it makes the cleaning
Girl.
that cleaning session go so much
What?
smoother.
You be like, I'm done already. Let me find something else to do.
Yes. Yes. So yep, I feel you on all of that. And I wanted to ask you also, what do you think the difference is between the R&B music and soul music we grew up on when we were kids versus the R&B music and soul music that's going on now? Like, what do you feel is the difference, or is there any difference to you at all?
It's the feeling, back then it was something that I could feel, because
Hmm.
that's what music to me is supposed to do is as an artist, when you singing it, you feel it. So
Yep.
as you feeling it, you the same feelings that your emotions and feelings that you're putting into it, you want your people to feel that way too. So I just think along the way it's just that feeling just got lost, like, you know um I just don't feel it like how I used to. It's just now it's just like just putting something out there just to put it out there
Hmm.
versus back then it was more of a, you felt it in your soul type singing.
Hmm.
So it's just so different now. It's really different. So that's for me the feeling, I would say.
I feel the same. I feel that a lot of it is, back then we had like 6, 7 minute songs, and it gave you
Hmm.
time enough to kind of feel it. And
Yes.
most of the time, when you couldn't express yourself on verbally to a person, or
Hmm.
before we had text messaging and all of that,
Right.
the song spoke those words for you. You know,
Absolutely.
like the songs that I listened to back in the day versus now, it's like the men were saying, saying something a lot different than what they saying now. So it's
Mm.
like I want to take it back to the old,
Yeah,
that oh
that R&B soul, like when you can
girl,
feel it in your soul type music,
yes, yes, that's
that
that's
music.
that's definitely what we're missing. It I feel like when I write, that's what I'm striving for, to bring some of that old school feeling back into it. Because Mary J. Blige and Faith
Yeah,
Evans and
yeah.
I could go down the list of stuff, Keisha Coles and
Okay, Keisha.
all all of those
Yeah.
those albums that those women
Mhm.
created, and then we could keep going down the list. If we take it back a little further, we got more groups, and like you said, Escape,
Yes,
SWV was my
SWB.
favorite group.
Yes,
They
come
were
on,
definitely
SWB.
my favorite group. I
Sister
love
to the
Escape as well, so
voice.
no
Yeah.
shots out, no shots to them. Like, but
Hmm.
SWV was my group. Like, I
Hmm.
really see the nails.
I
Coco
see,
was
girl.
I love me
Yeah.
some Coco. Like, I was like, yes. So like those groups, even some of the male groups like Jodeci and all of those groups, I
Mhm.
miss
H
those
Town.
groups.
Yes.
Jagged Edge was
Come
absolutely one of
on, Jagged. Yes.
True Hill. So, I
True
miss
Hill. Yes.
those. I listen
Hmm.
to that music all the time.
Me
I
too.
love the Chris Browns and the Trey songs and all of them. But
Hmm.
it's nothing like that old school. It's
Yes.
nothing like it. So, I see that we're on the same page when it comes to
Absolutely.
that feeling as well. So I want to ask you too, we have Dr. Fink coming up, and I
Mhm.
wanted to ask you, do you remember the Prince and the Revolution? Did you
Mhm.
listen to them? Did you see Purple Rain? That was one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies. If you haven't seen it before he gets on, y'all need to go watch it. I know a few of my young cousins, they said they never seen it, so they need to
Yeah.
go check it out. But did you listen to Prince and the Revolution growing up? Um,
Not really, to be honest. And I did see Purple Rain. It's been a minute since I seen Purple Rain, but I do know about Dr. Fink. I do know about his amazing work that he has done for Purple Rain and other collaborations that he has done with Prince. So yes, I do know of them, and I have watched Purple Rain, and rest in peace to the King.
Man, he is the greatest. Him and Mike.
Yes, he's amazing. I mean, just phenomenal. Playing all them instruments by yourself and you listen to it and thinking it's a band and this is one man.
It's just one
Come
person.
on.
Yes, like he
That's
was so
amazing.
he was like one of a kind. Like there will
Mhm.
never be another like him.
Mm-mm.
And I just I'm so excited. I hope you on with me when we
Yes, I
go.
am too. I'm super excited.
So let's keep talking. So tell me what you plan. What's your plans for your album? What are you
Hold
trying?
on.
What do you
Very
want it to look
frustrating.
like?
Um,
Oh,
I definitely,
so
I
tell me
definitely just
what's
want
your
to,
plans for your album? What are you trying?
I definitely just want to be able to have music that, people can feel, can vibe to. I just want to bring back the positive, uplifting music for me. Um, I really don't want to get into, I mean, I can tap into, the pain, hurt, but where I'm at, I just want to bring that good feeling, soulful, joyful, something that get people moving music. That's what I'm looking forward to do and looking forward to bring to the table when I step on the scene.
It seems like we have
I'm
a
a fan.
call. So let's go
I'm a
over to the
fan.
call and see what they are talking about. Hey.
Hey,
I just
Huh.
want to say that I'm a fan of Carla Allen. I'm a fan of Meelah's. I think you two are the most fabulous singers ever. I just, I just think, hold on. Seriously, I think two of you are wonderful. This is Terrence
He
Rudd.
is so hilarious.
so hilarious. Hey,
That
Mr.
voice.
And I
Brown.
just had to call in to support the new iteration of the industry. Congratulations, Meelah.
Thank you. Thank you for the
And
opportunity.
you're welcome. And Carla, regarding her music, and because I just got a text from Mr. Brown who wants us to get her from where she is to New York to record. And I'm like, hold on, I'm producing this. But Carla, well, I'm actually writing stuff for Carla. One of the things about her, first time I spoke with her, was we were talking about not overly sexualizing her and doing something in terms of image for women. Whether you're a black woman or white woman, you have to do something to stand out and to let people, the record buying, record listening audience, see something different. So the thing is, even from you, Meelah, being seen and how to be heard when you're in a crowd of, I'm not dissing anybody, any female, but if it's just one image, because right now it's about image, I feel and I know that you, with your talent, your energy, your spirit, putting you with the right music, the right groove, with the right subject matter, with the right music video, music film, you will move the world. And I feel that you both will inspire little girls by who you are. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm not just involved with it, but I'm also, ladies and gentlemen, of these women of experience who will have smiles from Aretha Franklin, Lena Horne, Josephine Baker, Albertina Walker, smiling down on them, going, "Yeah, y'all got the torch." Uh,
I mean, we got some work to
Go
do,
and
girl.
part the waters and lead the people to. What did Moses lead them people to, Carla?
To the promised
What did
land.
well, yeah, y'all gonna lead the people to the musical promised land, and I'm a
There we
part.
go.
I'm happy to be a part of that. So thank you both, and
Thank
Meelah,
you.
again,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Enjoy your conversation with my new buddy, Dr. Fink, member of the Revolution, Prince in the Revolution, and the two of you will see your stars rise when you'll be in that pantheon of great artists. So I'm looking forward, and I'm happy to be a part of that process. So thank you both, and y'all have a great night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you too, Mr. Russ.
We appreciate you for
You're
hopping
welcome.
on with us. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye.
He is a mess. He is one of the best though.
Absolutely.
I saw your face. I picked up. I was like, "It's him," and I was like, "I wonder do she know that's him?" And I was I seen the smile come on your face, so I think we both
I
picked up
do.
on it. But thank you again, Mr. Russ, for calling. We appreciate you for the opportunities that you are giving us.
Absolutely.
It came out the blue for me. It was
Girl, you.
I was minding my own business, and he ran into some people, and it was on and popping.
The
So,
everything has happened at the divine perfect time. So
yes,
if
yes.
your time is my time, let's go.
Yes. So I wanted to ask you again because I don't know if I heard you correctly. Have you been in the studio yet, or you haven't been in the studio yet?
I have not. I have not, and
Okay,
looking
okay.
forward to it. Hmm.
Girl, so I heard you gonna be going to New York. I'm gonna be in a plane right behind you. Um,
Oh, going to the big city, okay? The city where they never sleep.
Girl,
We
when you
about to
get
take
there, you gonna have
an
to
ambulance.
let me know what it do when you get there, so I can tell them to put me on the next flight over. I was gonna tell you you're gonna have a great time in the studio. I had a chance to record a couple of songs, and all I could tell you is get your creative thinking cap on.
Yes.
Um, always put your 2 cent in on what you want in your music, because your music definitely is going to reflect you. So if you hear something that you ain't cool with, always say, I don't know if I like that. Let me try it a different way. This might sound better. Don't be afraid to do that, because you don't want something to come out and then you ain't pleased with it. So always
Mhm.
when you get in there, because I know when I get in there, I'm like my own choir. I'm doing all my notes, I'm doing everything. And if I don't like something, I'm saying it, because I want it to be
Mhm.
perfect. Because we ain't got that much, we're a little older. So when you're a little older and you're trying to get into this business, you want to make sure that everything you do is on 10, because you
Mhm.
ain't got
Yeah.
that much time. So I can't
Look, we
wait.
don't know how much time we're gonna have. You don't know that. I ain't claiming that.
No, I ain't saying we dying soon. What I'm saying is,
No,
like,
I'm just saying, not that, but I'm just saying in
oh yeah. But
particular.
back in the day you had to, well, even now the youngsters, when they getting their
Mhm.
music out there, they on foot. And they going
Mhm.
to all these clubs, and they're
Yes.
going to all these places where they can be seen and heard. And it's a
Mhm.
little harder when
It is.
you a little older, because you
It is
don't want to be
different.
going just to any club to
Mhm.
to get the DJs to listen to your music, because you might get to a club that you ain't supposed to be at. So I know it for me. A lot of times my biggest fear is just, trying to go where everybody is
Mhm.
and hand my cards out and stuff. But girl, we'll get the hang of it and figure it out.
Girl,
It's a process
it's
to
only up
everything.
from here.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am so
Mhm.
looking forward to it. So tell me what you got planned for this weekend. What you doing? Do you have anything special planned, or you just kicking back doing some chilling?
Girl, I'm always on a go. I'm always on a go. I have another pop-up shop this
Okay,
weekend. So I'll be doing that with my skincare. Also working, my health and wellness business. I do a
okay,
lot, phone calls and Zooms and stuff like that. And then Sunday
okay.
I'll be I go to church and do what I do around the house, and that's it. But it's simple, but it's a full schedule. So I'll be on the go this weekend.
Okay, okay. So right now we're gonna take a little break. Carla, I would appreciate you stay on with me if you can.
Absolutely, Queen.
We're gonna go ahead and interview Dr. Fink in just a
Mhm.
minute. So you guys stay tuned with us, and we'll be back. And don't
Absolutely.
forget to
Podcast
check
shows
out
and
our
do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
Okay, okay. Hey, we're back, and we are with none other than Dr. Fink from Prince and the Revolution. How you doing?
You caught me off guard there for a second. Sorry, was
with the
on my
class.
phone. I didn't realize the camera was. I was like, "Oh, there I am, lady. How you doing?" Okay.
Sorry about that. How you doing
Okay,
today?
I'm just being silly. That's all
No,
good.
you good. I love your humor. I love it. I love it. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, actually, considering all the tumultuous times we live in.
I can feel you on that. We're living in like some real crazy times.
I'm doing well, and I'm praying every day for peace because
Amen.
we need peace and harmony in this world right now. We got to stop fighting with each other and start cooperating with each other and more. I mean, not that we aren't. I mean, a lot of us are. There's a lot of good things going on. Don't get me wrong. But all this other stuff on the side that's happening with, we know what we're talking about, right? I'm not going to name names and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff's got to become more positive and better for the world right now. It's really important because,
Amen.
we've got issues. We've got issues, lady. Okay.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I wanted to ask you. I know we just came out of a pandemic, so I wanted to ask.
Now, Biden yesterday said the pandemic was over, but then Fauci said, but we're still kind of dealing with it a bit. So I don't know. I mean, it's pretty much over, but not really totally 100%. Okay.
We got 1 foot in and 1 foot out, huh?
Right.
Yeah. So how did you get through the pandemic, and what did you do any music or any how did you get through it?
Yeah, I mean, throughout the entire pandemic, I was working as the director of Sync licensing music for our record label based here in Minneapolis, which is called V Records, which currently is kind of on hiatus because of COVID. But we're about to reignite that with the help of Mr. Terrence Russ, your mentor, and we're going to come. We've just been kind of letting it ride for several months here because it was difficult for the artists that were signed to get out and play live. So that's been a problem. Now things are coming back online again, and for myself, I've been getting out and playing live again locally. Playing with actually playing with 3 different groups at the moment. Believe it or not, it's crazy. I never used to do stuff like that, but that's the in thing. How many bands can you play with at one time?
That means Prince did it with.
That's right. But I know people that are in like 6 bands.
I think you got it. I think you got it in you. You worked with one of the best out, so I think you can do it.
Yeah, it was a good gig. You can't deny that the Prince thing was a good gig. But what have I been doing? Well, I was sitting here in this room, which is my recording studio, the operating room.
That doctor.
Get it?
Yes, that doctor.
So, anyway, I was sitting here, and and yes, I was doing some session work. Things were kind of coming in. I was writing a little bit, but more in the way of collaborative stuff for other people. And I wasn't really writing for me personally as be the Dr. Fink solo artist kind of thing. I really didn't have time for that anyway, and trying to attempt to do that again. So I just doing things like that. But really the main focus was the sync licensing thing and developing relationships with sync licensing agencies and that help you play songs in movies and TV shows and video games and commercials and all that stuff. And that was my role in this company for the last 2.5 years. And prior to that, within this same framework of this particular company, which was called ADX Labs here in Minneapolis, they had 8 divisions at the time that I joined the company in January of 2016. I was asked to come on board by somebody who's the CEO there, who I've known for many years off and on, because he's a musician, Steve Renner, and I helped him produce some of his records back in the day. He had a small record label in 2004 and 2005 called V Records, and then he resurrected the label in 2019 again and wanted to get back into doing things like that. But regardless of that, so the first thing I did when I came on board that he asked me to do was to help him develop a Bluetooth audio products line for his company, which was being sold over in China and Russia and Japan, Asia primarily, not here in the States. It was strictly overseas. And I did that. I found the manufacturing. I helped design the products, everything with other people on our team. And then, and that did pretty well. It's still selling different products because we changed things, year to year. We'd bring in different models of earbuds and speakers and all that stuff. And then, and then there was this music streaming service that they wanted to purchase from another entity that was selling it. And they said, can you look into this for us and see if it's worth buying? And I looked at it and I said, no, it's not. And because they wanted to do some innovative things with that streaming platform, which was to let, first of all, have independent artists that were not signed to major labels or any independent labels, just independent only, to use the service to promote themselves. And then the fans were there to listen to the music and then help promote it too. Like, who's your favorite artist? And there was all these incentives to help promote the artist and advertise, and then get points for listening, like frequent flyer miles, but frequent listening miles, frequent listening points, and then goods and services could be had from your point system. It didn't quite, come to fruition, but it's still there, and it's going to be resurrected again. It just was put on hiatus for a while, and then we're going to really implement all these things that they were going to do. But now we want to bring, it was strictly for hip hop and R&B artists only, though. There was no other genres on the platform. It was called My Music. I don't know if any of you have heard of My Music or not, but now we're going to encompass all genres like Spotify. And then we're going to try to work with the major labels now at this point and be competitive with Spotify and iTunes and Amazon and all these other platforms. So during that time, that was my focus, was helping to build that platform, work on the audio products line, work with a few artists here and there in the studio, and then the sync licensing side of things. So my time was really very highly consumed in all that. So I wasn't doing a ton of studio work or producing artists, but there was one artist in particular since about 2017 that I've been working with, a young gal. I met her when she was 17, a local artist. And she graduated from the Berklee School of Music a year ago with a degree in vocals. And also she studied how to run Pro Tools and get into production and all that. And now she's 22, almost 23. And if you go on her music channel, Michelle Rose Music on YouTube, you can see all the work we did together. It's really, really cool. And then my son, Maxwell, I brought him in to do a few songs because he's a producer as well and a songwriter. And he is a budding artist with his special stage artist name is Max Millie, spelled MVXMILLI, and you can hear him on Spotify and iTunes and SoundCloud and all that. And
you're gonna have to check him out.
Yeah, and about a year and a half ago, he collaborated with an up and coming EDM artist by the name of Darko, spelled DVRKO, and Darko is a great producer in his own right and worked with Disney Films for quite a number of years, and he and his wife have written hits for them, and he's back at Disney again right now doing some movie work and soundtrack work. And but he came out in the summer of 2020 as Darko, not his real name obviously, but he came out as Darko because he wanted to try the EDM world, and I think he's done a great job. And then he met my son one night at a party at some house in Hollywood. My son lives in LA for the last 6 years. And my son played him some of his material while he was at the party. And he loved it and said, hey, how would you like to come over to the studio like tomorrow and work on something with me? So they did. And then next thing you know, he invited him to collaborate on another song, which became a video song called Deeper, which is also on YouTube, and it's had well over 1 million views since its release. And Darko is continuing to do his career, and my son still works with him occasionally. But right now he's hopefully going to, continue his career with our label, which he was signed to for a while. And by the way, I did not sign him. That was the people at the top of me that loved his material. Initially, he just wanted to be on the streaming platform and be featured for a little while. And when they heard his music, they really loved it and said, we want to sign him. And I said, okay, go for it.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. No nepotism.
Hey, it wouldn't hurt just a little bit if
there
you
wasn't.
did.
None.
I believe you. I believe you.
I keep telling you, they think, oh, you're Dr. Fink, you got your kid in there. And no, that's not how it worked.
That's good. It's pretty cool that he was able to make his own way and do his own thing.
Way, no question, he made his own way, and
that's
I wouldn't
pretty
have it
cool.
the other way either. I wouldn't do that.
So, how does it feel to have a son that's doing music? Do you want him to follow in your footsteps, or what advice do you give him when it comes to the industry?
Well, I'm still worried all the time. So no, it's all good. I'm very proud of him because he's got so much more talent than me. Even he's and I'm pretty good. I'm okay.
You are better than good.
This kid, the songs he writes are so in the pocket right now. I mean, check it out. I haven't had one person who hasn't heard what he does and say, wow, this is really, people are like old people too, who are like used to listening to the Beatles and stuff. They go, wow, that's really good. I don't usually like the current material on the radio. It's kind of unique. I really liked it.
That's good when you get the older crowd.
Yeah, get the
older crowd. He's got the younger crowd. He's kind of, I liken him to an evolution of the kind of Post Malone hip hop meets pop melding fusion of stuff. How's that?
I mean, he gonna be off the hook because I love
Post
Malone.
How's that? An analogy of what he's
doing.
So,
I wanted to ask you too, while I was asking you about the pandemic. Did you have any vaccinations? Did you even get COVID? How was that for you before we move on to a couple of more questions?
I got so many stories about this. I could go on for like 15, 20 minutes. But just long story short, I have not, knock on wood, I keep pinching and going, did I not get it yet? I can't believe it. I didn't get it.
I'm going to do it with you then because I didn't catch it either. So.
Oh, good for you. So you haven't, see, maybe genetic.
Well, I have. I can't say that because I have.
We're sorry.
So here's the deal.
I'm still here.
I sat here all day long and all night. I didn't go anywhere during the pandemic. I just sat here and went like this. Oh God, I go. But anyway, so what I did is I got the vaccine immediately. As soon as they came out, I was one of the first people to get the damn vaccine. And I went and I just threw caution to the wind. I said, okay, I hope it's safe. And I got it and I was fine. And I got the 2 shots. Then I got the 2 more boosters. And then a week and a half ago, I got the 5th shot.
Oh, I haven't gotten that one yet, but I did get the other ones.
You got to get the
not near one.
And you what? You who?
I said not near one.
She hasn't.
Carla, you haven't been vaccinated?
To each his own. I commend you.
How old are you?
How young am I?
Come on.
I am 38 years young and I'm good. I'm good. I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. I'm good.
It's all. I totally get that. I love it. Faith is like,
Yeah, I'm good. To each his own. I ain't knocking nobody. Got it. Good.
Oh, good. So you haven't gotten it yet, right?
No, I haven't.
You're one of those people that probably has like this amazing immune system, and
I do.
And the special like protection from above.
I do.
Too. Okay, I get it.
Well, I'm so glad that you got your vaccination and that you have been safe and clear from the COVID outbreak.
My wife, and my wife too hasn't had it. And what's really interesting is we've been exposed to people like for many minutes on end, and they had it but didn't know they had it. I just got a cold. And then 2 days later, oh, I'm really sorry, I tested positive for COVID. I'm so sorry. And then I did a gig like a month ago. I did a gig. A guitar player standing next to me all night calls me the next day. I'm really sorry to tell everybody I got COVID. And
man.
I go, great. And then I'm like, but I didn't get it. It's amazing. I don't understand it.
You must have O positive blood.
My amazing constitution and immune system could be.
Yep.
I think you may have O positive blood like me, because I did hear them say that
I am.
a lot of. Oh, well, that's why you didn't catch it then, because
I'm
most
O
of
positive too. The O positive blood bank is really strong against COVID, from what we've learned.
Yeah.
Right, Meelah? Yeah.
So we O positive twins.
Hey. By the way, nice to meet you guys. I didn't say that.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you too.
Carla.
Nice to meet you too. I'm excited to meet you.
Every once in a while, I see those amazing nails pop up and do things.
I was just telling Carla, I was inspired with these nails from Coco from SWV. She was like, her nails was always so long and cute.
Yeah.
I just been wearing them since I was 16.
Dangerous too. They're dangerous.
Yeah, and they can be if you mess with me wrong.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, because I was going through a couple of interviews, but I didn't want to just ask you everything they asked you, but I did want to know what made you pick the keyboard as your instrument of choice when you were what made you pick the keyboard?
Well, the day after I was born, my mom sat me down at the piano and said, "Start learning now." No, she didn't do that. I was actually about 6, and my older brother had been started piano lessons. He was about almost 3 years older than me. He'd been taking them since he was, about 6 too. And then my parents said, "Would you be interested in trying piano?" And I said, "Sure." If Mikey can do it, I can do it. My older brother, Mike. And so I started in with that, and I started playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and Mary Had a Little Lamb, and all that stuff. And then by the time I was 12, at one of my piano recitals, I played the 12 variations of the song Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, which was written by Mozart.
Okay.
Wow.
When he was 12, he wrote that because he was a genius, and by the time you get to that 12th version of Twinkle, Twinkle, you're all over the place. It's insane. It's like you how did he make that out of star? It's insane. And you really appreciate the fact that they had no television or radio or nothing to distract them, no social media, no phone, nothing. And all they did is they got up in the morning and the father had the whip and he went, "Get down there and play." And that was it. So that's why Mozart was so great.
He was
as opposed to me, who could have been much better, but I was distracted by Gilligan's Island growing up.
I used to watch that as well. It was super funny. So I understand why you would be distracted by Gilligan's Island. Because
I practiced, but believe me, and I think about Mozart, if I'd had the kind of focus that he had, where I'd be now.
I think your focus was pretty spot on to be able to play in one of the greatest bands that I've ever heard, and alongside with one of the greatest musicians in this world Prince was crazy off the charts. I actually have to listen to him every night. My son is a crazy, crazy Prince fan. He knows songs from you guys that I didn't even know y'all created.
Is he watching this?
I hope so. He just got out of football practice, so hopefully he's tuning in, because I told him I was going to let you know that, in the shower, I don't care if he's cooking food, if he's playing his video game, it is all day long with Prince and the Revolution.
And can he see this interview again later? Is it recorded?
Yes.
Send him over. Tell him say hi.
I will let him know you said hello.
My best.
I will definitely do that. So I wanted to also ask you, what kind of music did you grow up on? Who were your favorite artists or bands that you listened to when you were growing up?
I was extremely eclectic in my tastes because, first of all, my parents, who were in the acting business on the side. I mean, my dad had an advertising specialties business that he ran, but he was, both my parents had graduated with degrees in theater from the University of Minnesota. So I was not only studying piano, I was studying acting too. I mean, they had me acting and doing voice work when I was a kid. They were booking me for educational recordings and all kinds of stuff at the age of 8, 9 years old. You want to go play in the studio, Matt, and read some lines, you know, and then the director would say, okay, now say it like this, you know. Anyway, so I was kind of a child actor at times and did some plays and stuff locally. This is all local stuff, you know. And so what was the question? I got sidetracked.
Oh, no,
what did I listen to? Okay. I was exposed to everything. Like you name it. Jazz, classical, Broadway, rock, all of it growing up. My parents had music going all the time in the house. They introduced me to, you know, Duke Ellington and Ella Fitzgerald and, you know, Oscar Peterson, the amazing jazz piano player. You name anything, and Mozart, you know, of course, classical, everything, right? So my dad was a huge classical music aficionado who knew a lot about classical music. And when he was at the University of Minnesota, he ran the university radio station, KUOM, and spun classical records.
So you was just destined to be in Hollywood, it seems like to me.
Right. So I was culturally exposed to all that growing up. And in fact, when I was literally 10 years old, I went to Chicago with my folks on some convention trip for my dad's business, and my brother was along, and they took us to see the play, the Broadway roadshow play of Hair in Chicago, and then Mame the following night. So we saw 2 Broadway shows. I'll never forget this because it made a huge impression on me. But here I am, I'm 10 years old, and I'm at Hair, which is the big hippie movement. And all this hippie stuff was going on around me at the age of 10. And anyway, so there was full frontal nudity on stage in the play Hair in 1968. My parents took me to that knowing full well I was going to probably see that, and they didn't care. They're like, well, you know, it's okay. He can handle that. It's no big deal. And then so they were very liberal and open-minded, and they were really great parents. I was very fortunate to have them showing me the way culturally growing up.
It seems like they hooked you up for success because, like I said before, you ended up being in one of the greatest bands ever. And I wanted to ask you, you are a fan of Sly and the Family Stone. I was seeing doing some of my research. They're from the Bay Area where I'm from. So I had to throw that out there because I saw that in one of the interviews that you did that you were a fan of Sly and the Family Stone.
Oh, yeah. And we used to jam on Sly a lot.
Okay.
He was a big fan. We used to do a lot of James Brown and Sly and all that great stuff, you know.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So I wanted to ask you how old you were when you joined the Revolution.
Well, I was 20 when I met Prince, and he was also the same age as I was, and he'd been signed to his record deal the year before at the age of 19.
Okay.
And the Revolution, the actual name Prince and the Revolution, really was not implemented until the Purple Rain album.
Really?
But the 1999 record, he alluded to the Revolution. When you look at the album cover, there's that little, looks like a football over the eye of Prince, and then the word revolution is in there spelled backwards. Have you ever noticed that?
No, I'm gonna have to go take a look.
Check it out.
I'm sure my son has.
It was like this cryptic reference to what was to come, the revolution. and so then that was it. But we weren't really. It was just Prince. You know, the first 5 albums.
So when you met him, did you meet him through someone, or did you?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
So Bobby Z, our esteemed drummer, he and I knew each other because our parents used to do fundraising events for the local Mount Sinai Hospital of Minneapolis.
Okay.
And, more than once, they did a couple of these events together where my father and his father were the actual hosts, MCs of the event. And then my mother and his mother and another woman helped to do some of the planning for this. And then they actually performed in a comedy skit together for the entertainment, where they all dressed like French maids.
Okay.
Bobby had it in his archive somewhere. He gave it to me several years ago. I'd never seen this before. So they were dressed up like maids, And so that's how we met. I think I was about 7 or 6. I was pretty young. Bobby was about 8 at the time. He's a couple years ahead of me. We both grew up in the same suburb of Minneapolis, of St. Louis Park. And so I met him at his house because my mom had to go there to work with his mother to rehearse the skit and do some other things for the event. So that's where I met him. And I saw him occasionally over the years, during that time, but not a lot. And then, we knew each other in high school. When he was a senior, I was in 10th grade. I was in my sophomore year. And then we were checking each other's bands out because we were in different cover bands at the time.
Okay.
And then when he went to work for Prince's future manager, Owen Husney, he went to work as like an assistant there. He brought Prince's demo tape for me to listen to one evening when I was doing a gig at a club one night in town. I was 19, same age as Prince. I was fresh out of high school the year before. And he took me out to his car. He said, "You got to hear this demo tape." I go, "Well, what is it?" He goes, "This artist my older brother David produced locally at Sound 80 Studios here. I want you to see what you think about this." I went, "Okay." Played me this tape. I heard this amazing songs coming out, off the cassette.
Mm-hmm.
It ended, and I said, "Wow, that's really great, Bobby. Who's the band? What's the name of the band?" He goes, "It's not a band." I go, "What do you mean it's not a band?" He goes, "It's one guy doing everything in the studio, singing and playing." I go, "You mean he overdubbed himself on top of all of those parts he played, like drums, keyboard, everything, and singing?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "You got to be kidding." And then he says, "And he's 19 years old." I went, "What?"
That is super, super cool. I hate to cut us off, but they're telling us we got to close out.
Oh,
I hope you can come back and sit with me again, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Real quick. So that was that. That's how I was introduced to Prince, through Bobby.
Wow.
I love it. I hope you can come back and sit with us again, because I had so many more questions for you that I wanted to ask you, kind of dig into your relationship with Prince and everything. But I want to thank you and Carla for sitting with us, and we appreciate you. Don't forget to hit the Cash App button at the bottom and check us out every Wednesday from 9 to 10 o'clock p.m. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear all your material, your songs. I'm looking forward
I
to
got something
releases.
you can hear. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let us know when you want us
Sure.
to send it to you. I got some stuff already ready.
Awesome.
I know that's right.
Great. And I got connections for sync licensing, so let me know.
Yes.
Okay.
Have a good one. See you
Good
guys
night.
later. Good night.
Good night.